This guy will sell your startup. He's helped $500 million worth of startups get acquired. Here's the story of the craziest entrepreneur ever, Andrew Gazdecki. Andrew Gazdecki is a successful entrepreneur, investor, and business consultant. He is best known for his work in the technology industry and has founded and grown several successful startups. Entrepreneur.com describes Andrew as a 4-time founder with 3 exits, former CRO, and founder of MicroAcquire. Gazdecki has been featured in the New York Times, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, Inc. and Entrepreneur, as well as prominent industry blogs such as TechCrunch and VentureBeat. He is the guy who picked a fight with TechCrunch. He got Russ Hanneman from the Silicon Valley TV show to give him and his company a shout-out. Andrew Gazdecki is the founder of Aquire.
Andrew Gazdecki, MicroAcquire, Gazdecki, Andrew Acquire. Knock, knock, who's there? This guy. It's your favorite fake, brilliant billionaire investor. I heard the news! Tweet, 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 tweet. It's everywhere. And you didn't let me invest. And look at you. You raised 2.8 M. Kind of killing it.
Aquire was formerly named MicroAcquire, as we previously mentioned. Despite being in tech for more than a decade, Andrew discovered that he knew very little about the startup acquisition process the first time he tried to sell a company. And he wasn't alone. When he sold his first startup, Business Apps, friends started calling him up. Dude, how did you sell your startup? What happened? What's the stock purchase agreement? How was due diligence? That's when Andrew noticed a problem. We only hear about the unicorns that get acquired for huge amounts of money, but almost 98% of all startups sell for less than $80 million. Andrew was onto something. He started looking at other marketplaces in the industry, places where micro-tech company founders and buyers could meet. And he noticed one clear thing. Marketplaces do not favor sellers, and instead favor buyers. So he saw a void in the market for a platform that empowers founders when they are competing against larger private equity firms. And that's how MicroAcquire started in 2020. MicroAcquire was bootstrapped for more than a year. They did $630,000 in ARR, 300 plus successful acquisitions, 1,000 plus startups listed, mainly software as a service and e-commerce, 100 million plus in closed deal volume, and an average deal size of about $500,000. Andrew believes in bootstrapping. He never raised venture capital for his previous startup, Business Apps. This time around, the scenario changed. While Andrew was still skeptical of raising, his longtime friend Jeremy Levine from Bessemer Ventures changed his mind. I really want to work with you, man. You're onto something big here. I promise that I'll add at least 10% value to MicroAcquire and I'll give you $2.2 million, said Jeremy. And that's it. Andrew was sold. MicroAcquire raised $6 million from Bessemer Ventures and some great angel investors like Naval Ravikant and Sean Peary. To convince Andrew, Levine was ready to make some specific arrangements for the deal, acting as an angel investor instead of a VC, and not getting a board seat. It is challenging, to say the least, to experience such rapid growth as a niche marketplace. So, what propelled MicroAcquire's growth? Here are his crazy marketing tactics. Number 1, picking a fight. Andrew called out a big shot publication in TechCrunch, saying they only talk about venture-funded businesses. He essentially engaged in beef marketing. It's like stirring up a beef with a public figure to get people talking about your brand. Andrew bought bootstrappers.com for $30,000 and started covering stories of bootstrapped businesses. He interviewed these founders and wrote about them on his Twitter and blog, and people started liking this. He tweeted at TechCrunch asking them why they don't cover bootstrapped founders and startups. Eventually, TechCrunch gave in and started covering bootstrapping stories. Andrew 1, TechCrunch 0. Number 2, celebrity shoutouts. Andrew got Russ Hanneman of Silicon Valley to talk about MicroAcquire extensively. In the tech world, almost everyone knows of the TV show Silicon Valley. So having a hilarious character like Russ give you a shout out is huge.
You would be doing a huge service for Andrew Gazdecki, who does such a huge service for so many startups. Micro and macro.
Number 3, podcast appearances. Because of his earlier success as a founder, Andrew was well known on Twitter and in niche startup circles. He got onto a lot of podcasts to talk about his previous work as well as MicroAcquire. Most notably, My First Million and Indie Hackers. How does MicroAcquire make money? There are two stakeholders. Sellers. If you go to Aquire.com, you will find that you can list your startups for free. They don't charge an upfront fee to sellers. If your startup gets acquired through Aquire.com, they charge a success fee, which means a percentage of the total transaction of the deal. Aquire also has a service that handles everything for you. They'll help you sell your startup for a flat fee of 5% of the deal size. The second of the stakeholders are buyers. Buyers can snoop around for startups for free as well. Aquire offers premium plans for buyers with premium tools and offers. If you're still skeptical, look at the successful deal that happened on Aquire. Spencer Scott bought Median for $280,000 from Derek Homan. Spencer is now scaling Median. Look at what Derek had to say. I had 15 plus folks reach out to me on Aquire.com. I was completely blown away by how easy it's been to reach these prospective buyers. We weren't necessarily looking to sell, but Aquire.com has been A+. From start to finish, we were acquired within 30 days at full asking price. So, if you're looking to sell your startup to get some liquidity, or if you're looking to buy a startup to build something new, you know where to go. Andrew has done some remarkable work. He's someone everyone can learn something from.